Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter here at the workbench doing an inventory of my cutting irons and cap irons. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but suffice it to say, I've got backups to my backups. I've got a backup to my number 3. I've got a backup to my number 4, brand new, never used. Then I've got additional backups to the number 4 and 5. I've got one here, a complete set. I've got another complete set here. And I've got the Craftsman set here. So I've got enough blade sets for my number 4 and 5 to keep me making shavings for a long, long time. In addition to which, there are the 2 Chinese blades that I had reground to 0.9 inches, 0.09 inches, excuse me. So that there's those. And I have my generics cambered and straight for number 4 or 5. Then we go to the 2 3/8 inch for the 4.5, 5.5, 6, and 7. I have 2 brand new record irons, 2 3/8 inch, sharp, ready to go. And then I've got 2 brand new, made in England, Stanley blade sets. So there again, I have got enough cutting irons and blade sets to keep me in shavings up to here. Now, on top of that, there's some miscellaneous. These are 2 Tay tools made in India. Keep that in the back of your mind. Blades that are too thick for me to use in any of my planes. So I'm waiting on a package. I might have some cap irons coming for these. And if I do, these can be made into planes. Speaking of made into planes, I've got these 2 little ones here made out of some sort of tool steel that could be made into a scrub. I could actually include both of these blades in one plane. In other words, they'll both fit the same plane. One has a cambered iron and one has a straight iron. So you could use it as a smoother or you could use it as a scrub. So that might go into one plane. And I'm sort of giving away where we're going to have to take the channel in 26. We're going to have to make planes. So there's that. And then if you recall, my jack and my smoother use a bevel up block plane blade that we just flip over and use it bevel down. So I happen to have a bevel up block plane blade without a slot made in USA. I have another one without a slot. That would make a nice plane. And then I have another one with a slot that I would flip over and would make a nice plane. So there's 3 there. And then, I won't unpack it, but I picked up 3 more, just like the one in my plane. So that's 6 planes I can make right here. Now, add to that, I have 2 hawk blades. Now these hawk blades are kind of unique. They are made to be a bevel up for my Lie-Nielsen 62. However, they erroneously put the slot on the wrong side. So if I put this in my 62, it will be beveled down. It doesn't work that way. If I regrind that bevel, I will lose a 1/2 inch of material. I could take this to my machinist and have him cut this slot open, but I've decided I'm going to use these as beveled down plane blades for a wood body plane. And I've got 2 of those. These are 01 tool steel, beautiful tool steel. So I've got 2 of those. Last up are these vintage tapered blades and cap irons. I've got a 2-inch tapered with cap iron. I've got a 2 1/8 tapered. I believe this is 2 3/8. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful iron and cap iron. Everything fit perfectly. And this one is 2 1/2. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these. I could make a smoother out of this one, and I could make a single iron jack out of that one. But I may end up letting these go because I got so much to keep me busy. But this would make, this 2 1/2 would make the equivalent of a number 8 jointer. You know, it would be fun. Put this into a 4-foot or 5-foot body for a Cooper's plane, where you actually move the wood over the plane. We shall see. So that's my inventory, and it is a bit more than I need. But on the other hand, don't you love when someone says on the other hand? That's like economists. You get an economist and he tells the president, well, Mr. President, on one hand, this would be the scenario. But then he goes, but on the other hand, this could be the scenario. Well, why doesn't the president just hire a one-handed economist? I don't know. I don't get it. So that's about it for this one, everybody. I'm so glad you could stop by while I was just tidying up my blade inventory. If perchance you're in desperate need of something that I might have an extra of, message me. Get a hold of me. Some of these are very special. specialized, I should say, not special. Nothing is too special. I just like to keep backups to my planes. That way, if for some reason I were to lose the blade set out of one of my planes, I've got something to put in it. So, no shavings today. So, if you found something useful here, helpful, maybe entertaining, give it the old thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and share. Walter out.